over 3 times the federal minimum wage, and I cannot afford to live. And I do not want to hear the pull yourself up from your bootstraps, work 90 hours a week. That's not the goal, guys. That should not be our standard. I am so fucking tired of people being complacent with this uniparty, both of them fucking us over. When my parents were my age, they both made less than half of what I make, and they lived alone. I cannot afford to live anywhere alone. A 1-bedroom apartment, $1,800. 2-bedroom apartment, $2,200. Who the fuck can afford that? It is embarrassing to come out and say that it is a struggle to survive right now, but I know so many people are struggling. And do not get me started on what my grandparents were doing. They $3,000 house. And yes, I understand inflation and all of the bullshit that they have been pulling with the Fed. Why are we allowing it? Why? And then I clock out of my shift. I am tired. I have to go home. And I check the news. Another 60 fucking billion to a country nobody can point out on a map. What are we doing? Where has the plot gone? We have lost it, folks. We have fucking lost it. The American dream is dead. It is over. Gone and forgotten.
This is what.
Want to know how I knew the economy was in pure shambles? This is the exact instance. It wasn't when everybody was saying, oh, inflation is going up when gas was so high. Nope. My friend and me were sitting down having a gentle conversation. I had $20 in my pocket. I said, hey, you want to go to Dollar Tree? He said, yeah. We go to Dollar Tree. I grabbed 20 items. Well, I grabbed 10. He grabs 10. So, naturally, I'm thinking we're going to walk out with 20 items. They ring me up for like $27. I'm confused. I say, what happened? I only got 20 items. She says, at the cash register, she says, oh, everything's $1.25. At that exact moment, I knew that the economy was in shatters. Dollar Tree has been a staple for so long that everything costs $1. I didn't care about $5 footlong. I didn't care about $1 drink from McDonald's. I didn't care about $1 McChicken. I didn't care about none of that. I didn't care about a lick of that. I didn't care that the dollar menu from Taco Bell sucks now. That was unimportant. But when Dollar Tree, the place that's known for everything costing $1, increases price by 25 cents, that is a drastic increase on every item in that store. You're probably thinking to yourself, it's not that serious. It is that serious. If any other store increased the price of something by 25%, I would be flabbergasted. I'd be like, oh man, what is going on? That's a large jump. And sure, it happened with other stores. It happened with McDonald's. Sure, it was slow creep with McDonald's. The Big Mac started costing more money. Cheeseburgers started costing more. But that was gradual. That was okay. I didn't care about that. The Dollar Tree fiasco, because I shopped at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is where I got my dish soap. It's where I got my brooms. It's where I got my lint rollers. It's where I got my toothpaste, toothbrushes. That 25% increase, that turns $5 from 4 items. Well, $5 from 5 items into 4 items. $10 into 8 items. $15 into 12 items. Yeah, 12 items. Yeah, I'm doing the math right. It's insane. They just keep increasing the price. I was like, man, this is crazy. I'm so baffled. And we walked out with only like 13 items because we only had $20 bills. It's a big jump to lose that many items. We lost so much. The economy is in tatters right now. I am so upset how everything's costing more. We're getting paid less just for existing. It's getting weird, man. It's getting really weird.
I saw a really interesting video the other day that said that in 1983, making $30,000 a year is equivalent to 2024 making $164,000 a year. So our parents grew up comfortably on $30,000 a year, very comfortably. And we have to make $164,000 a year just to live the same way that our parents lived in 1983. I think that stat really shows how much inflation has impacted everyone, and it makes a lot of sense now why no one can afford shit. Because making $30,000 a year in 1983 was sufficient because eggs were like 50 cents, maybe even 20 cents. And now it's like $9 for a can of 12. So although the price of everything in your life has gone up, car insurance, rent, groceries, food, everything, the price of everything has gone up, wages have not. And that's a huge problem because now 90% of people are living paycheck to paycheck in the U.S. And that stat really puts it into perspective.
You need to make today to live like your parents did 40 years ago, making $30K a year, is totally depressing. In a TikTok video, financial expert Robert Gill explained that, adjusted for inflation, please sit down and have your emotional support person on standby before proceeding, you'd have to make $162,342 to have the same purchasing power. Now, it's important to understand that inflation isn't just the prices of things going up. It's also the broader price increases across sectors, industries, and ultimately an entire country's economy in general. So it's not just that, say, housing prices are up since 1983. A dollar is actually worth less than it was previously. This is why we're all feeling the pinch, and also why our parents don't seem to get it. Boomers telling us to work harder isn't going to suddenly make our dollars worth more, which led several commenters to ask Gill the question probably on everyone's mind. Does inflation ever really go down? His response, it hasn't in the last 40 years. And this of course means that as the value of our money continues to decrease, the amount of money needed to live a stable life will continue to increase. And unless we do something, like say reigning in corporate power by having reasonable corporate tax rates like the ones we had even during the beloved Reagan era, for instance, a comfortable life on a normal salary will become more and more unattainable to us average folks.
I know the economy is literal shit right now, but why does everything have to just keep getting so expensive and like literally so unaffordable for so many people? It's ridiculous. I get my nails done. Yes, I took some time off. Yes, it is like a luxury that I can afford to get my nails done. But it's getting to the point that it's like a little bit crazy. Like $85 to get French tips. Like I don't get a manicure. I don't get anything crazy. $85. Like what is happening? I know things have to like go up in price, you know, with whatever. But like inflation, are you kidding me? It should not be this bad. Even with like apartments. Everybody wants to increase apartments and the rent. You're kidding. Nobody can afford it. My salary does not increase just because you want to increase rent.
It is right now. Because it used to be when the cost of living was high, it was for the things that you need in life. Food, gas, shelter, etc. All those things cost a lot of money. Right now, all of those things still cost a lot of money. And also, I feel like it's just expensive to just be alive. Like, I feel like my life, as soon as I wake up, is literally just me putting down a credit card. And it's just a tab. And life is a bartender. And it's just like, what are you going to have? And I'm just like, I'm okay. I don't really need anything today. And it's just like, oh, really? Well, if you're going to be here, you're going to need to spend money. And I'm just like, what do you mean here? I'm just in the world. And it's just like, yeah, you have to buy something now. It's even getting to the point where like, I feel like even my thoughts are getting expensive, you know? Like I could just have the thought of like, my nose is a little stuffy. And then all of a sudden, I open up my phone 10 minutes later and have 12 ads for like, oh, you have a pollen allergy and you got to buy these anti-pollen allergy pills or you're going to suffocate in your sleep. Sleep is the only place I still feel kind of safe. But even there, it's like I could have sleep problems for one night and then I wake up feeling kind of groggy and all of a sudden I'm getting targeted ads for melatonin gummies. It's like all of our necessities are still expensive, and then also just every increment of our life costs something.
This is what I'm struggling with in America right now in my 20s. Why is everything so expensive? Why am I making more money waitressing than I would make using my college degree? I barely have a life. I have 2 days off and I work Wednesday to Sunday, doubling just to pay my bills. At 22 years old, all of my bills are in my name. I have no help. How are y'all affording housing? In Myrtle Beach, a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,500. Bullshit. How are y'all getting insurance, going to the doctor, getting medicine? And then some of us are trying to be TikTok influencers. Who knows where that's going to get me? Me and my boyfriend are saving, but we barely see each other during the week, and it feels like we're working our asses off for nothing. Do we need to move somewhere for a better job opportunity that we don't know about? Do any of y'all really know what you want to do with your life right now? It is so scary being in America right now. If you can relate to this, if you have any advice, please comment and let me know. It's ridiculous.
Street. I will be literally on the street corner next week, panhandling, asking for some change. It's comical how our wages aren't going up, but the price of everything around us skyrocketing. And it's not near as bad in America as it is in Canada. It's 1,000% worse in Canada. Every aspect, we can't catch a break. Groceries are now like triple the price. I just saw a video on TikTok and this girl was like, isn't this expensive for what this is? And it was a vegetable platter, not even like expensive vegetables, literally carrots, some broccoli, some cucumber, little cherry tomatoes. It was a decent sized platter, but it wasn't anything crazy, and that was being charged $45 for the platter. Over double the amount that would used to be. You know, like a normal platter like that probably would go for about $15 to $20. It's $2.50 for an apple. When you're weighing to get an apple, it's $2.50 per pound for an apple. I haven't gotten a facial in so long, and when I was in high school I used to go to this facial place all the time and get, you know, my skin cleaned out. It's been quite a few years since I've actually been to this facial place, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself to a facial. They used to charge me $50 before tax, and I just looked it up now. It was $89 before tax. We're not doing anything more magical. We're now charging me $40+ more for a facial. That's how much it's gone up. We have the most expensive gas prices in the world. We have the most expensive car insurance in the world. Every aspect where you would think maybe I could save some money, you can't save any money. And then on top of that, our rent is one of the most expensive in the world. We're paying millions and millions of dollars for the land. So you could have a broken down, running, rotting house that's falling apart with rats in it, and you'd be charged millions of dollars for this house just because of the land of it. That's how expensive it is to live in Canada. I'm talking about specifically Vancouver. I don't know if it's like this in other parts of Canada as much, but it is becoming insane. I'm saying if the prices keep going up and the wages aren't going to be going up, then how do you expect us to live? Where are we going to be living? How are people going to pay off their debt? If you have debt, you're basically just going to keep working to pay off the minimum of your debt. You're never going to be able to pay it off. It's not a way to live.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
We're not. Truth of the matter, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck with credit card debt. I know people who are legitimately putting gas and groceries on credit cards just so that they can get back and forth to work. I believe that this is what most people are now calling the silent depression. $100 has become the new $20, and it's ridiculous. But the best thing about it is that people have shifted their core values. Look at this app alone and all the videos of all the retailers on Black Friday that nobody was there. They just don't care anymore. People are realizing that if it doesn't bring value into my life, then I don't need it. And while I don't get political on this app, you're having people on both sides of the aisles going, yeah, this kind of sucks. Right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. It's the same bird. And now so many Americans are going, I don't care. I think it's woken a lot of people up to the idea of why are we funding things that we don't care about when all of us right here are struggling. It's changed the people's attitude in the workforce to where a job is just a job. You used to be very loyal to a job, but they've seen that there's no employee loyalty because there's no employer loyalty. People aren't putting up with toxic bosses anymore. You're either going to treat me right or I'm going to leave, because there's tons of companies that are hiring because nobody can find help. People just don't trust the system anymore, and they're starting to focus on what matters the most. Most people are out here making more money than they ever have and realizing that it's not going anywhere. So they're just not spending it. And what has made a lot of people turn their back on the system is that now they somehow either make too much or not enough money to qualify for the government assistance that they've been paying into their entire life. There are people out there who can't afford to buy the groceries, but they make too much money to get the food stamps. A lot of people are out here calling it the depression. I like to call it the awakening. People are just realizing how much they can get done on their own and that they don't need the government to hold their hand. So to go back to your question, how are people making it? Financially, I don't really know. But I'm very grateful that people are starting to look for answers.
Life is not making that much sense right now in terms of the cost of every fucking thing. Tell me why I just had to spend $400 to register my car. Yes, $400 for a piece of paper. I haven't bought any Christmas gifts. Zero. None. Not one. And the way that it's looking, y'all not getting nothing. Y'all ain't getting nothing from me because groceries are too high. car insurance too high, car bills, everything is high. They're going to increase rent. As soon as the lease renews, they're going to increase the rent. So what is this? It's almost like my brain can't really compute this, because I'm just imagining, like, if I was a mom and I had kids and I just had to come pay this shit, bro, kids need Christmas presents. Now I done spent $400 at the motherfucking DMV and I can't buy my kids no fucking Christmas gifts. Our light's about to get cut off because I had to buy this piece of fucking paper. What the fuck? I'm sorry for using all the F-bombs, but...
Now I understand why it was so looked down upon to be living with your parents back in the day. All you had to do was get a job. Just a job. Here I am, college degree, multiple avenues of income, side hustles. What the fuck am I doing here?